What's up, everybody? It's Bobby with Bobby's Big Board once again, and in today's video, we're doing a Brian Thomas Jr. film breakdown. Brian Thomas Jr. just put up over 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie. Now he's heading into year 2 with sky-high expectations. But is he really built to be a long-term wide receiver 1 in Dynasty? Let's break down the film and find out. Hey. Okay, before we get into this first clip, guys, I want to kind of give you guys a brief overview of Brian Thomas Jr. He's 6'3", a little over 200 pounds, and he's got legit 4.3 speed that he uses to burn people downfield regularly. That led him to having over 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. He was very, very good deep down the field. I wanted to pick out some plays where he wasn't just running straight down the field and getting 40, 50-yard bombs, just beating his man. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you should already know that Brian Thomas Jr. can burn people vertically with his speed. I wanted to show you guys the other things that make Brian Thomas Jr. very elite. And this is one of these things, one of the plays that kind of showcases that for you. So basically, offensively, the Jaguars are in 12 personnel, which means the Packers are going to likely be playing their base 4-3 defense here, and it's basically kind of like this verticals concept where this guy is just running an outside leverage streak to the pylon. Pretty much this guy is running an out and up. I think this is supposed to be the number 2 option behind BTJ. He doesn't run the route particularly well, so it kind of doesn't really get open. Gabe Davis here, he's going to be running comeback, so basically sell this guy 23 vertically and then come back to the ball. And then your hot route here is going to be this back on the check down. And then last but certainly not least, you're going to have Brian Thomas Jr. here, guys, and he's just going to run, take a big plant here to kind of sell outside and then explode on this post here. So you're going to see how good this little step is, because this safety here is completely lost when Brian Thomas Jr. does. So in terms of defense, they're manned up all across the board here. So I believe this guy's on the back, and then he is deep safety, and then he's kind of like playing a robber on the under. So you're gonna notice here, you're gonna notice this a lot. Look how soft people are playing against Brian Thomas Jr. Like I said, he's got legit 4.3 speed and will run past you. And he's got some other attributes that we'll look at in the next clip to basically be like, I don't know if you want to press him consistently either. So you're going to see this a lot where a corner is going to be lined up, 10 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage on him. So let's go ahead and play the play real quick. So Brian Thomas Jr. Another thing that I really like about Brian Thomas Jr. is his get off the line of scrimmage. I know it looks a little slow here, but in terms of receivers, guys, especially at his size, it's pretty impressive. You see the plant? This quick little subtle plant to the left here makes this corner completely oversell it, and he cuts it. I'm going to play this smooth after this first take, and you're going to see how fast Brian Thomas Jr. does this in real time. He does juggle the ball a little bit, which isn't something you'd like to see consistently. He did have 7 drops last year, which is kind of like his only problem, really. But look how fast. Look how fast this double move is. Whoop, whoop. Gets about 2 yards of separation. Beautiful ball from T-Law. Easy touchdown for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great play here from B. Okay, guys, next up, we have a 2-point conversion attempt from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be man-to-man versus Christian Gonzalez right here. And he is playing tight on him, and he's going to be playing some press coverage against him. And if you guys know anything about Christian Gonzalez, he's a pretty physical, pretty big corner as well. I think he's 6'1", very good press cover corner. And you're going to see what Brian Thomas Jr. does on this route. So basically you have your tight end and your back end protection. And then it looks like it's triple slants. It looks like you have triple slants here. With the press coverage, he kind of gets bumped off his route a little bit, and then he has to come around to it. I'm going to tell you the downside of this too, because I think they kind of missed a way more wide open play here if BTJ would have kind of improvised a little bit, but still nonetheless, you're about to see what he does here. And then in terms of the coverage, pretty simple man to man all across the board here. Okay, so let's play the clip real quick. So, first thing, kind of tries to do like a outside release on him, like a fake outside release, and then cut inside, which if you look at any of his goal line touchdowns, BTJ, he's very good at that release and gets pretty much instant separation. On this play, though, Christian Gonzalez does not bite on it at all, and he's got him. He's being a little physical with him. Watch what BTJ does here. Throws Christian Gonzalez off of him completely. Continues to run his route, and then what I would just love for him to do. Law could drop this in a bucket right here, and it'd be the easiest easiest 2-point conversion they've ever done. But Brian Thomas Jr. is going to stick to the plan. Cut back inside and basically give Christian Gonzalez a chance to get back in this play. Great recovery from Christian Gonzalez. He almost got thrown to the ground by BTJ and still manages to get in the play, but he just gets just enough separation, catches the ball with both feet in bounds. This is great body manipulation. This is a great concentration catch from BTJ, and they get the 2-point attempt here. Like I said, I would have loved to see him cut up here towards that back pylon, and it would have been super easy, but sticks to the script here and still gets it anyways. So pretty good play, pretty good display of beating press coverage as well. He does that quite frequently. All right, so yet another good play from BTJ here. He's going to run a shallow crossing route here and use every bit of speed that he has to basically get a ton of extra yardage after the catch. So let's go ahead and break down what the Jaguars are doing. They're in 5 wide here. And if you guys play any Madden or College Football 25, you know exactly what this play is. It's called mesh. So you got 2 underneath crossing routes. Those are your basic number 1 and number 2 reads, and then you have Evan Ingram coming over the middle of the field here and sitting down. This would be your zone beater, and then you have this outside release dig, also a zone beater, and then you got your clear out from your running back. He's pretty much never going to be targeted. So why you run this play is because it's good versus man and zone, but it's very good against man on these shallow crossing routes. And luckily for the Jaguars, once again, straight into man coverage, 1 single high safety. So this is the perfect play call, in my opinion, for what the Texans are doing. And I'm going to go ahead and play the play and show you guys why this is so effective. So first thing, as soon as they hike the ball, this is the guy that's supposed to be manned up. This is the guy that's supposed to be manning up BTJ. We've already talked about it. He's got killer long speed that can separate on deep routes and break away for 80-yard touchdowns easily. So you have to play soft against him, which is basically going to mean he is wide open on this play. And why mesh is so good is this guy's basically going to have to run through all of this ingestion, run around all of his teammates here just to get to BT. That's why this play concept is so good. You basically have the Texans running into each other on the play, which right here, this guy falls down because his teammate hit him. Happens all the time. But Mac Jones throws a perfect ball to BTJ here, and look at the room he's got. Jeez Louise, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and look. He starts accelerating, and the Texans are lucky that this safety here had a very good angle on BTJ, or that's an easy touchdown. So I'll run this play one more time, just straight through, just to kind of show you what this play concept does. Runs right into his man, boom, turn on the jets, and a guy moving that fast at that size is just kind of insane. So beautiful play here from BTJ, showing you guys that he has a little bit of yak ability in his arsenal as well. Okay guys, so the last good play from BTJ that I picked out, it's a little bit of an interesting one just because it's not really a good play concept from the offense. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know what this play concept is, or I think there was a miscommunication here or something. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it does showcase BTJ's ability to work in Scramble Drill, which is something that a lot of receivers just don't know how to do. So basic play of the concept here is this guy's going to come in line and block, and then back's going to be coming out here and basically hot route. Then you have him on a dig here. Then BTJ, I believe, is just supposed to be running a go. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys are kind of confused on what's going on here because you only have 3 routes here, and one of them's a check down to the running back. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, but the Raiders, they are in cover 2 man, or some other people call it cover. So straight man-to-man across the board. Then they have these 2 linebackers that are just going to be working underneath because they don't have any routes to work against. So let's go ahead and show you guys. What ends up happening on play. Play action. I guess it's supposed to be a play action shot play to beat Jack Jones. I do like Jack Jones. A little underrated in all honesty. Kind of prevents him from getting outside to his outside hip here. BTJ also stumbles on his route. That's another knock I have on him. He does have a decent amount of stumbling on tape, more than I would like. But dig is not here. BTJ, even though cover 2, is in like a soft spot here. Yeah, definitely not open. So Mac Jones out screen. Watch what BTJ does. Look at all this. That's where BTJ's going. Making himself available back in Scramble Drill. Beautiful play from BTJ. Now, he doesn't get a lot of yak after this, but, and then he does the smart thing that a lot of receivers will get killed doing, is he goes down because he knows he's surrounded by 8 Raiders here. So go down. Don't take a big hit for no reason. And that's basically the play. So let me play it through one more time. Now, I mean, I could just be playing as highlights, guys, but, I mean, that's not going to be much content. He's literally just running straight past guys, and they're throwing the deep ball to him. I'm showing you things in BTJ's game that's, I think, more valuable than just running straight. Works in Scramble Drill here. This is like a 20-plus yard catch off of, in my opinion, a broken play by the Jaguars, and boom. Doesn't take the big hit as well. And live to fight another day. I think this is a very smart, high football IQ rep from BTJ. So, Brian Thomas Jr., guys, he's not a perfect player by any means, but, he has a lot of elite qualities, but he does have a little bit of a drop issue from time to time. He stumbles on his routes from time to time as well. And this is just one of those plays where he just really let an opportunity go through his hands, literally. So, let's go ahead and take a look at it real quick. So, pretty simple play call. You're going to have this guy motioning across the field and running that. Then you're going to have this guy running a dig here. And then you see how soft they're playing him. Once again, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be perfect for this in route. He's going to have a ton of separation. Pretty much a free route for him. So, for the Texans, they're just running straight man coverage. Across the board, nothing too crazy there. Pretty much cover 1 here. And yeah, let's go ahead and look at this drop. It could be a slightly better in terms of ball placement by T-Law, but you see how much separation he has. it's right in his hands. That's inexcusable. You have to catch those. And hopefully next year he'll clean that up a little bit. But, I mean, with a lot of targets, it's going to come a mistake here and there. And Brian Thomas Jr. is not an exception to any means. I'll run this one more time. Motion across the formation here. Okay, Davis. And then right there, right through his hands. Yep, that's an unfortunate one. Hopefully he gets that cleaned up. So we're going to end it on a bad note, unfortunately. This is the last play that I'm going to go over, and it's another drop from BTJ here. So, guys, I think this is an RPO concept from the Jaguars. So you basically got BTJ going on an out here. Got this guy on a slant. Gabe Davis is actually going to be a downfield blocker in this concept. And I think it's either an inside zone or a throw over here or over here to the slant. I think that's the read here. And the quarterback does go with this out route. And it is somewhat open. I would have liked the slant a little bit more here. But nonetheless, both routes were open. And then in terms of the coverage here, it is cover 5 or cover 2 man. Got your 2 deep safeties here. You got straight man. Else. So let's go ahead and play this concept real quick and see what happens. You see how, once again, common theme here. Look how soft he's playing. BTJ 9 times out of 10 is going to be wide open on these short kind of concepts. And that's why he got so many targets last year and why he can be like a PPR monster, because of how soft defenses have to play against him. So you also see here, he's pretty open on the slant, but he would rather go with BTJ here. And he just can't hang on through contact. Great tackle here from the corner. I think that's Rasul Douglas. Comes in and just breaks it up. I mean, great play from him, but still, I think BTJ, if he was a little more sure-handed, it's not like the corner got his hand in there. I think he should come down with this most of the time, but in this situation, he doesn't. It's an incomplete pass, unfortunately. So, tough rep from BTJ, and hopefully he can hang on through contact. Brian Thomas Jr. put together an electric rookie season with over 1,200 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, and the film backs it up. His ability to stack defenders vertically, sell double moves, and eat up soft coverage underneath is elite. He's dangerous after the catch when given space, and his speed shows up on every single rep. That said, the tape isn't perfect. There are some drops, occasional stumbles in his routes, and moments where he struggles to finish through contact. But the flaws are coachable and the ceiling is sky high. I'm fully bought in. BTJ looks like a future Dynasty wide receiver 1, and he's only scratching the surface. Thanks so much for watching the breakdown. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a ton. If you want to keep the conversation going or join a Dynasty League with the community, hop into the Bobby's Big Board Discord. The link's in the description.